Enigma, right? Like, he loves playing active heroes. Even his Chen is fairly active, even though sometimes it just looks like he's trading back and forth in lane. It does get to activity here. Enigma is not really that hero. You're going to be getting some Eidolons. Maybe you can play around with Marcy. Gonna look for rebound, Malefice opportunities, but up against a Weaver, and Ghost could always just Shikuchi away, and he doesn't really mind.
It certainly does not. See how it all pans out. I mean, Ghost had such a fantastic game last time around. We'll see if he can kind of have a repeat performance. So we might have a level 1 team fight to come out, but both teams still sitting back. We didn't see a level 1 team fight in the first game, to be fair. Not the greatest level 1 timings either. I just personally want to see a level 1 team fight, John. I love them so much. It's always fun.
Yeah. And that's what we like in Southeast Asia. We just run up to the rune spots and just go ham already. Although that doesn't really happen all too often. That was really at its peak with, say, Obedion and Scam. And that's when it was really insane. Still, maybe a little bit poke and prod here, Mike, lining up. Balloon Wars.
Balloon Wars indeed. Back and forth. Very distracting for both sides right now. There goes a pump. Bounty is going to go the way of Aster.Aries here down on the bottom side as they do get the hell out. I believe that was an even trade anyway, as Ghost was able to pick up the top 2 Bounty runes, so a 2 for 2 anyway. Not too big of a deal. Bit of damage being dealt here towards Kaka and Chalice, but again, it doesn't really seem to matter too much. I do appreciate that cheeky little tree throw there from Kaka as well, kind of implying that there might be a ward on the high ground and maybe just waste the Sentry of Red Panda, but he doesn't seem to fall for that bait.
Yeah, doesn't quite commit for that. Still, take a look at that mid lane as we go into the game here. E up against Somnus once more. Somnus on a Void Spirit. I feel like he should have a decent enough time. There are ways for you to be annoying here on Yi, and he shouldn't be bullied out completely. And Somnus should still be able to find his footing. Unlike last game where it felt like a little bit more back and forth, you were seeing a little bit more come out from Yi on the DP, but again, laning phase might have gone well enough, but towards the mid game just kind of nullified. If Somnus does manage to have a much stronger start here, when his impact can be felt a lot faster than Yi's, who's going to need farm, who's going to need levels, and the Invoker is that kind of hero on mid, just a bit slower.
Bottom lane, Kaka, he might be dropping rather early. Ulu is going to make his way in. Kaka will eat a Fairy Fire, but has no spells to play with. Only has the tree grab, and that'll be first blood to go the way of Aster.Aries. Ulu the one to take it on the... In fact, it was Red Panda who took it. Never mind. A little bit unfortunate with who takes the first blood, but nevertheless, it does go the way of Aster.Aries.
And that is something you have to watch out for. The Shadow Demon combination with Ursa is pretty good, especially if you can get disruption blocks off. Not going to be the easiest time for Kaka to maintain some presence here. At least not until he gets level 2, level 3, with maybe the Avalanche toss up and running. That's the moment you can kind of play around with Chalice here as well. You are still finding some really good farm for Ulu there. Although Chalice should be able to just keep up. And as long as Chalice hits his level timing's fine and Cuckoo manages to maybe leave the lane for a bit, you shouldn't be all too dissuaded by that. This Shadow Demon is annoying, but you should at least be able to get some decent damage and harass onto the Ursa as the DP when you're left alone.
Yeah. How's that top lane going? You've got Shinxi and Ponlo there against X-Nova and Ghost.
Radiant's courier has been
Everything's
killed.
going quite smoothly up there. Ghost having a very nice time. Just another free lane for him as Red Panda still going for a chase onto Kaka. But again, top lane, Ghost, he's having a very good time. And the thing is with these Eidolons, especially at the early levels, they're going to be pretty easily sniped here by Ghost. So the Enigma, you know, you kind of want to deny some creeps off in this top lane, but chances are he's not going to get that much value out of it for the laning stage at least.
Yeah, you can at least take away, you know, the flag bearer creep. That's annoying, especially for the Lich, but it's not the biggest loss in the world. Like, X-Nova's just happy enough to get all that attention, to get a Frost Blast off and Frost Shield off when they want to go in, and there's no counterplay for Shanxi. He does have the rebound up, and they do have the Malefice up. They don't have detection though to kind of lock in Ghost, and if he gets a Shikuchi off, you're already pretty happy in that lane. There's no real kill threat.
I love the Giga Chad build from X-Nova as well. He just has 5 mangoes. You know, Tango Salve, 5 mangoes and maybe a branch. It's the way to do it when you're playing plus 5 Lich, just such a mana-intensive hero. Kaka, bottom lane, copping a fair bit of damage here from Red Panda. Is going to cop disruption now as well. That's 4 stacks of the Shadow Poison. One more might just do it. Kaka, no, is barely going to be able to survive. Not quite enough damage, even with the level 2 Shadow Poison. Kaka going to be fine. It's not a very easy or fun lane for that Pos 4 Tiny, however.
He's certainly struggling, and it's going to be a little bit tough for Kaka to have that impact you'd want. Almost at 3 at least. They do find that kill on Ponlo up top with a poking and prodding, and Shuangzi just can't help. Like, this Marcy's just kind of stuck trying to farm. They can't use the rebound offensively, and it just feels like if you can't like hook up rebound and Malphite, then you don't have anything to play in this lane.
Oh, Kaka, he's going to get low bot lane, but more importantly, Shuangzi is really struggling up top now. He went for the creep pull, but against Lich Weaver, you're going to get punished really easily. Like, the Frost Shield slow is more than enough to just keep him controlled up, and when you've got a Sakuchi to keep up, it's very hard to fight back. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Kaka. 3 stacks of Shadow Poison. Don't believe that'll be enough. Maybe one more would do it, but Red Panda is now in trouble. As he does get chased down, eventually Chalice should be able to secure the kill and will. Crypt Swarm will get it done.
You're finding all this aggression out on the lanes from RNG. I think the one thing you can be happy about here on Aster.Aries is the fact that you are getting a lot more farm with your safe lane now. Ulu's having a little bit of a better time. Still not as great as the free lane Ghost is having, but he can kind of build up and at least hit some initial item spikes. You are having a pretty great time for Somnus again in relation to the last game. This is a much stronger start for him in the Void Spirit. He's managing to hold off E just nicely. No rotations at all coming towards mid. So heavily focused on the side lanes. And I feel like that just favors the Void Spirit, because he can sidestep Invoker spells. The kill opportunity can't really present itself. Yi does have the Urn, but no charges up means he can't really just chain that Cold Snap as you would and chase someone down.
Lane, Somnus, gonna make the jump in. Yi, he will be the target. X-Nova trying to move in with the Frost Blast, does land it. No kill to come out. The Invoker gonna be just fine to walk away. Few rotations from the side lanes here from Aster.Aries just in case, but they are not necessary in the end. Oh, that's gonna hurt for Ponlo. Literally just placing that ward and has to deny it off immediately. At least he gets the deny though. Not handing over that free gold to X-Nova.
Yeah. It's something. It's a little bit of consolation prize. He is starting to play in that jungle as you would expect the Enigmas to do. So starting to try to get some farm up, working onto a little bit of a raid pack here. Clump up bot though.
Jump in, Red Panda tries for the disruption out, but surely they've got the damage. Fairy Fire, no, the Crypt Swarm. It's not going to connect, and Chalice, he'll keep trying, but he ends up missing. Oh, that's a bit awkward, RNG. They commit 3 for a Shadow Demon and they don't find it.
I don't think you mind too much though. Think about the top lane. You can leave Ghost alone. What kill threat is there onto that Weaver? You don't have Black Hole. You've got the rebound Malphite, but as long as you've always got Shikuchi up, you're not worried about him solo. So you might as well get more activity out from that Lich. Try to work aggression onto the other lanes. And missing out on that kill opportunity is pretty bad, but you can still kind of try again and just make this lane a lot tougher coming out for Ulu.
Radiant structures are fortified.
At the very least, I guess they could try to force a push up the top lane, as bottom lane obviously is being forced in as well thanks to Chalice. TP's to come in from Yi to try and protect this tier 1 tower if he can. Chalice is under vision of that Observer Ward of the Radiant right now, just trying to stay away from the side of Aster.Aries. And it seems as though they know Yi's TP'd here. So everyone backs off at the right moment, and Yi, he will find nothing with this rotation.
Yeah, they've just not been able to really build up for this Invoker. Like, he's had a decent enough lane. Earn charge at 0 when you're really ready to go with Quaswek just doesn't feel great. Then again, how do you really rotate when you've got a Shadow Demon and an Enigma as kind of your supports to hook up to with an Ursa and a Marcy? Maybe top lane fares off a little bit better. Locking in a Weaver just seems a little bit hard without that earn charge for the cold snap, and again, it's just leading to this farm game for RNG. The aggression is favoring RNG. Their build-up is there. The Ursa and Ulu's gonna dip into the jungle now. Doesn't have something like his Morbid Mask up just yet. So not gonna be able to maybe try to smoke Roche down line, although that's not a high priority. Ponlo?
Yeah, gets caught out. Somnus was there with the Invis rune, just patiently waiting, and takes a very easy kill on the Void Spirit. Just sadly having no idea what was gonna come here from Somnus. They knew the Void was missing, but obviously with the Invis rune, kind of hard to tell. Still, I mean, it's a 1-4 situation. RNG 1k in the lead. Problem is, you look at all three cores of RNG, and they are all at the top of the net worth board. So things are just going swimmingly. Similar story here for Ghost as well on the Weaver, just having the freest lane of his life. I believe he even has the full Maelstrom coming out on the Courier as we speak, so his farm is set to escalate rather quickly now on that Weaver. You kind of question how they're going to control this man. Mid lane, they're going to try into Karka for now. Problem is Somnus is going to make the jump in onto that Shadow Demon, and Red Panda, he's the one in danger. Ponlo, he's not level 6 yet, so he can't really help out on the Enigma. RNG, they will pick up another kill for themselves.
No, just poking, prodding really well. Somnus so confident here.
Why not? Outclicks him as well, gets the regen rune for the Void Spirit. Gives the voice line, of course. You've always got to give the voice line when you outclick someone. And sadly for Yi, he's having a very rough game already in this Invoker. Just no real impact so far.
It's just not coming out. He's working towards his phase boots into Witchblade. Maybe by then you can kind of keep that chase going. Their major problem is the lockdown, because it just feels like you can't really put a dent on Void Spirit. You can't put a dent onto the Weaver. They're just going to be able to weave in and out as they want. They're keeping really good eyes on Ulu down bot field. They're not allowing free farm from the Ursa. And Ulu's going back for a Battle Fury, Mike. He's going for it. Like, we've seen this from, you know, players like Jackie, who have to, it looks like they have to play a really aggressive Ursa game, try to play it slower with Battle Fury. I don't know if this is the build-up you'd want here for Ulu.
I don't mind it, right? You're playing with Enigma and Invoker of all things, so I think it's okay to hope for the late game. Problem is, Red Panda now will get caught out bot lane. Delay a little bit with the disruption, but it is not going to matter. Karka will be able to secure the kill. I think if you can drag out the game long enough, it'll pay off, that Battle Fury build-up, considering your draft. But with the way RNG's going with their own draft right now, I just question whether they actually have the time.
Yeah, because it goes back to what we saw from game 1, right? Like that Creed that Aster.Aries tried to play with. Because it's not just that, try and farm although. Yeah.
Able to get the toss off onto Yi. Barely be okay on the Invoker.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tier 1 mid tower looks to be under siege. Ghost is sticking around, but in fact the rest of RNG are also hanging around. And well, this is one of those things when you're versing a greedier draft, is you want the mid tier 1 tower. It opens up the jungle on the Radiant side for you, and you're not going to allow that greed to pay off here for RNG if you do manage to infiltrate, as they do infiltrate the Invoker. That'll be Yi to drop very easily with the great setup of Karka on that Tiny. And again, it's a very rough affair for Aster.Aries, only picking up 1 kill, dropping 7 to the way of RNG. And it might just be 8 now as Ponlo, he's trying to farm. He will get spotted mid-TP, but there's nothing to cancel.
Yeah, he backs off in the nick of time. Aster.Aries, with this kind of draft, they've got to stall for a very long time, Mike. I don't know, like, I get why you want to go greedy. I feel like if you had something like, say, Blink Diffusal BKB, you could do something on this Ursa instead of just farm. Like, it just doesn't feel like you have anyone that's ready to go. Maybe Shang-Chi is ready to go. You know, the Martial already has that armlet up.
Chalice. I mean, they're going to try for a big kill on the Death Prophet. Ponlo, in the meantime, does end up dropping top lane, but Chalice is in trouble mid lane. Eventually will go down. So you give up Ponlo's life, but you find the DP in the mid lane, and that's definitely a bit of a win here for Aster.Aries. A lot of gold to go back their way, at least for the Marcy, Shang-Chi. They can do that a few more times. They could certainly find themselves back into this game number 2. It's always good to pick off the DP as well, kind of delay any kind of incoming pushing coming. Bottom lane, Somnus He's going to find Red Panda. Barely does not have enough damage, though. Red Panda is going to be able to survive, and I believe that's thanks to the raindrops he did have available.
Yep, survives true. Kind of just forces that movement of Somnus to be wasted. You don't really mind too much in RNG though. I mean, just the space coming out for Ghost again. And it feels like this is something we've been seeing from Ghost since his time in Southeast Asia. If this guy can find a farm, he farms just as fast as the best. You know, he's up there with Jackie in terms of how he works the jungle, how he builds up that net worth, and his thought process and itemization just lines up when the investment is done. So Ghost is just allowed, probably, again, another very free game. And with all the threats coming out from Aster.Aries, I feel like they have to use that on Ghost somehow. Like, you have to prevent this Weaver from just free farming jungle. You need some vision out there. You need maybe a smoke play out. You've got this Marcy who's been ready for a while with the armlet. Why not just try to commit chain stun onto that Weaver, get a kill, take over the top jungle at least with a couple of wards, and force RNG to kind of play on the back foot for a little bit.
3k advantage, it's just such a big concern because Ghost is just way too farmed already on this Weaver. Like, he can join the team if he wants for these fights. In fact, he may just top lane Ponlo. Already having a very rough affair on this Enigma. May get caught out again as Ghost does reveal himself. They do have Black Hole, but they don't have follow-up. I mean, Ulu is around, but it's so easy to cancel while Karkar's there. And that'll be it. Ponlo goes down once again. At least this time he does pick up the Vladimir's offering. Meanwhile, RNG, they just successfully back out. They'll be happy with that. Poor old Ponlo just trying to work towards that Wraith pack, but is constantly getting picked out.
Yeah, he really has no game plan until he has at least a Wraith pack, so he's got contribution outside of Black Hole and in a big way. Like, Midnight Pulse and Malefice are good, it's just that they haven't been playing with that chain stun potential. So I feel like he just kind of missed the window in that. Ulu?
Oh, Ulu, that's a big one.
What?
They find the Ursa. Ulu maybe just not expecting them to be in the triangle of the Radiant side, but RNG just controlling the map already. All goes back to that mid-tier 1 tower dropping early on, and RNG certainly not allowing the greed to come from this Ursa. Battle Fury, it's a ways off.
Yeah, it's still a little bit more saving to come out from Ulu, and even then, like, we're talking about 3 to 5 more minutes until you get the next item off the back of Battle Fury. It feels like you're gonna need like 2 items on top of the Battle Fury, or after the Battle Fury, to really start to play around with your team. And that's just too much time you're giving away to RNG. 2 to 10, 5k lead out for the side of RNG. Ghost just, he already has a Mjolnir, Mike. I mean, that's a Weaver with Dragonlance, Mjolnir, and Wraithband. No boots, but who needs boots when you have Shikuchi?
You don't. He still has 550 movement speed without brown boots while he's Sakuchiing. Johnny's more than happy without them. Such a free game for Ghost. Aster.Aries, all they can do is kind of put their trust in their late game ability with this draft. Like, you've always got this crazy scaling with this Enigma. Well, we talk about it every single time, and even with the Invoker these days, with these triple Chaos Meteors and all of that, it's just so much damage that can be pumped out. Problem is, you are getting really outpaced by RNG. They go for a Roshan now, 17 minutes in. That Mjolnir you talked about, it is now available for Ghost. And RNG, they'll take a free Rosh. Second game in a row where Aster.Aries just give the first Roshan away without even knowing it's happening. At least now they do. Just too late.
Not in the area to really make use of that info. They do find themselves a bot tier 1 tower, which is nice enough. Doesn't really open up the map all too much. With mid still standing and RNG off the back for Rosh, instant smokes out. Lines drawn towards bot. Looks like they might only find Ponlo, and he does have Shang-Tse around to kind of help, but a pickoff's a pickoff. Blink at the ready for Kaka.
Here we go. RNG, they'll try. Ponlo is in the tree line. Kaka, he knows. Or does he? They haven't seen him yet. Ponlo, he can try to help out, but it's not going to be it. Somehow they did not detect the Enigma. They did not see him, so he's fine. Problem is, they found the better target anyway. They found Shang-Tse.
Yeah, I think they did see him at the end. He did get like a right click off. So he showed on Fog, but I don't know if it even matters. Ghost, he spots Ulu. Double damage on the Weaver, but doesn't commit. Might find something else.
Yeah, Kaka, he'll go for a chase onto Yi. Dust is available on Kaka. He does pop it. It is within range, and Kaka, he does have the Blink Dagger up as well. So he's in big trouble. Trying to make a run. He'll try for the TP. Do they have the damage? Not quite. Even with the double damage rune, I thought they would have had enough, but not quite there. Meanwhile, towards the south, X-Nova is going to go down. There's your black hole. It's caught out Somnus on the Void Spirit with the follow-up damage. It's going to be there just in time. Ulu picking up a double kill, and that's a pretty big win for Aster.Aries. Here comes Ghost, however. They'll go for a bit of a trade. Red Panda, he'll be on the run. Ghost will follow him down towards the T2 tower. Red Panda will try to break some ankles in this tree line, and for now is actually going to be fine. Goes for a trusty shovel dig. Has a damn neutral creep spawn up, John. Very annoying for the poor man. But he is going to survive.
Yeah, they lived through a really good split up from Aster.Aries. They recognize that without Kaka around, they have a really good angle out to make that black hole happen. Didn't manage to get the gaze off there from X-Nova. Wasn't quite in the position to even use his spells in the way he'd want to save Chalice.
Fine. At least for now. Cold Snap is there. It'll slow him down a little bit, but Kaka going to make a nice blink in with the toss back onto Yi. Silence is immediate as well on Yi. He's just trying to play with Chalice, but Kaka, just no hesitation with these blinks.
Yeah, that silence combination with toss just looks so funny, because the silence comes in the air when it looks like you're outside the Z box of the silence, because it does look like Domo trying to find more.
Oh, toss is onto Shanxi. He's at least got his BKB up. In fact, Ghost. Woo, that's a lot of damage. He does have Aegis though. Continues chasing Red Panda. Sakuchi right into the T3 tower. Well, you did see one little moment there where there could be some comeback potential here for Aster.Aries, being that Shanxi just does so much damage with that Unleash, plus the armlet and the sidekick, of course, but still not enough to even find the Aegis of Ghost.
Just a little bit too much on that Weaver. I think your best play in Aster.Aries is either a really good jump in from Shanxi or a black hole from Ponlo. Like, it's got to be one or the other. And the black holes are a little bit harder to pull off. Blink still a ways off for Ponlo. The Wraith Pack is almost done at least, so you're going to have a little bit more utility in the middle of these fights. Your jungle is taken over, but you do have some wards watching the entryway. So you've got a little bit of an idea as to where the side of RNG is playing here. And Aster.Aries are avoiding pretty nicely. Like, we talked about Ulu a bit. He has caught up in terms of net worth. Looks like the BKB might be flying out now, and they are smoked around that item timing.
Oh, we might have a game on our hands, John. Ghost not going to be spotted. Instead, they'll see Kaka on that Tiny. He's been a real menace. They'll try to get started with the Tiny kill. Kaka dropping immediately. A nice start. Ulu now. He'll find X-Nova. Earthshock in. X-Nova will try to go for the gaze with the Sunstrike. It's going to fly in right after. Frost Shield slowing down the Ursa a little bit, but not quite enough. It's now Somnus. Going to find Ponlo, but doesn't quite have enough damage to finish off the job. In goes Chalice, but Chalice misses with the Crypt Swarm. Can't finish off Ponlo. He's out of there. Now Chalice, he'll try to use up, try to run, but is going to drop. Uh-oh. In they go for more. Rebound is there on Somnus, but the stun will not connect. Aster.Aries suddenly showing some signs of life here, John.
Yeah, Alacrity unleashes. That is funny. That is very fun to watch. That's a lot of damage flying out. I saw Chalice just pretty much melt, like half his HP done in one salvo. That is very, very balanced coming out with the combination of Aster.Aries. They are catching RNG a bit off guard. They've been very complacent here on RNG almost, right? Very comfy with how the game is, but they need to respect that Aster.Aries still has a lot of bite left in them. Ponlo?
In trouble. Does have Black Hole, but is alone. Probably doesn't want to commit it like this, and this time around will die, but actually picks up his Blink Dagger before he does go down. So now you've got some initiation. Meanwhile, Kaka, speaking of initiation, does go for Ulu, but the BKB is going to be available, so Ulu, he will actually be able to find a trade, and all he needs is that BKB charge to be expended. Not too bad at all. Aster.Aries again, John, kind of making a bit of a comeback here in this game number 2. Did they finish the Wraith Pact on this Enigma? They just go for Blink instead. I think they just went for Blink instead.
Yeah, just leave it at the Vlads, give a little bit of life steal out to the Ursa and the Marcy. And just try to get that aggression. The Black Hole's going to be the big one here. Smoke on smoke, though.
Here we go, RNG. They can have their smoke broken on
Dire's
Chalice, and
bottom
that'll be
tower
enough to
is
force
under
them back. Aster.Aries, they look like they're more than happy to force a fight. RNG, I don't believe know the Blink Dagger's up right now for the Enigma, so they've got to be very cautious. They'd probably assume the Wraith Pact is still coming. Or at least still trying to be farmed up. That is not the case, however. And again, Ponlo will reveal it. Oh no, he won't. He'll hide in the tree line. Creep Wave won't see him. So RNG, 2k ahead now. 8 to 14. Very, very close matchup. Ghost still ahead in terms of net worth, but only about 500 gold ahead of Ulu on the Ursa. So it's a very close matchup for game 2.
Yeah, it has evened out. The Battle Fury pickup from Ulu has paid off. They managed to stall here on Aster.Aries well enough that high ground's not yet at threat. They've got pretty good high ground hold if it does come down to that as well.
Radiant's bottom
And they
tower
start to get
is
some
under
activity.
attack.
RNG is the ones to reel it back a bit to their own detriment, as Aster.Aries have found some good pickoffs. I think if you are RNG right now, Aegis is gone. Did expire a while ago. You could just wait for next rush, but you want to open the path up to high ground. You want to take some of these tier 2 towers out. We'll line up for the bot one.
Tower is under attack.
Aster.Aries are kind of just shoving in top and taking that jungle farm while they can. So they probably wouldn't mind all too much as they manage to
Radiant's
just
bottom tower
trade
is under
evenly
attack.
back and forth if ever. At least keep that farm game up.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tier 2 tower is going to be traded. RNG. They're the ones really doing the trading here. Seems like there's too much pressure on the top tier 2 yet. Somnus, he will rotate. They're going to try and force a fight. I think the Remnant will connect, but disruption is there. So Kaka can't go for the toss back. Ulu going to be fine for now. Ghost, he'll even rotate, but the Black Hole! Ponlo, it's going to get cancelled immediately. X-Nova, he was having none of it. Gets rid of it ASAP, and Ulu, he's kind of been left alone here, John. He'll go for the
Ooh.
TP, but Kaka, he smells the bear in the tree line. They leave the POS 1 to die. Oh, Aster.Aries. That's not a good sign. RNG cleaning up, and well, sadly for Ponlo, John, you need that BKB.
Dire's middle
These
tower
black holes
is
are not
under
going to be that easy.
Look, once he does have the BKB, the black holes become extremely easy. There's nothing to pierce through that spell immunity. There's no Rubik to worry about. There's no silencer. There's no Treant Protector. There's no Faces Void. Nothing to stop it. So you're going to feel really good once that BKB is farmed up by Ponlo, but again, it goes back to greed.
More and more falling here. RNG able to find another, and Roshan is up and available. Perfect timing for RNG.
Radiant's top
Move their way in,
tower is under
claim themselves another Roshan. And you've got to ask yourself, have the side of Aster.Aries actually picked up a Roshan in this whole series yet? I don't think they have.
They haven't been. And it's this game where you expect them to at least take one. They've got the Ursa, but they're not really able to do so. So a free Aegis coming out for Ghost once more. Shard coming out, I believe, onto Chalice. It does. Got the Fear ready to go now on that DP. Heaven's Halberd being built up here by Chalice as well. Can massively impact the damage output of Ulu in the middle of these fights. Now the good news for Aster.Aries is, again, their tier 2 still stand. There's still this buffer zone for RNG to have to work towards onto the high ground. And you do get the Batcher up on Shang-Tzu. So you've got this stupid combination with Unleash and Alacrity with the Basher up. There's no counterplay for that. That could be the way to go. Here we go. No. No.
In Kaka, he's there with the toss avalanche combination. Yi, though, going to survive with the BKB up, is still fine as Shang-Chi just going to try and run. Can he do the same for Yi? He'll try for the TP up, but it's not going to be enough. RNG, they still find something for their trouble. And it's right back down towards the bot lane to try and secure that tier 2 tower. And go right for the outpost if you are RNG.
Radiant's
6k
bottom
advantage
tower
now.
is under attack.
Ghost once again really starting to pull ahead.
Radiant's bottom
17k
tower
net
is
worth on this Weaver. Daedalus almost completed as well. That's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's going to be massive output coming out here for Ghost. It looked like Aster.Aries were the ones trying to be aggressive down bot. Like, they got the Alacrity off. They were waiting to jump onto that creep wave, but just didn't.
Jump in. Ulu's going to try and force something. Is unable to hold anyone down, though. That's his
Radiant's
BKB
bottom
gone.
tower is under attack.
Black hole up in 1 second. So they can try to abuse that, but everyone else is standing outside of the range.
Radiant's
You got to
bottom
catch
tower
X Nova
is
and
falling.
Somnus as well as Kaka. No BKB up yet for the Enigma, so chances are the Black Hole's just not coming. Ponlo, he'll make the jump in. Tornado will be there onto Kaka, but he'll be force-staffed out. No biggie for RNG. No creep wave makes it a little bit more challenging, but the creep wave is now here.
Under attack.
Should be the bot racks to go down. Ponlo again going to make the jump in with the Malefice, but does get caught out. A very nice Aether Remnant from Somnus. He will punish Ponlo for his attempt. And that'll be enough for RNG.
Radiant's
Bot racks is
bottom
gone.
barracks are
They've
under
still got
attack.
outer towers in the mid and the top lane. So they'll just head back. Just no need to rush this game.
And they can take it easy here. A good net worth lead coming back for RNG. 10k up, 8 to 19. Daedalus for Ghost just probably needs to swing over to the shop and pick it up. And then that just simplifies the process of melting faces. Aster.Aries, they still have this really good high ground defense. It just feels so hard to pull off without that BKB on Ponlo. You're still very reliant on just having this black hole come through. The pickoff game is mainly on Chengse's hands with that BKB up in Morrissey now, with the Alacrity Unleash combination. They need to find a way to maybe get that going. It feels like that's been their best bet. If you do have Chengse just kind of focusing on anyone, with that spell immunity up, running them down with the Alacrity bonus damage. Alacrity plus sidekick, and it's a lot. It's a stupid amount of damage. It really is, just incredibly damaging. But they've only done it like once or twice. They need to do it a couple more times here in Aster.Aries to stall this game.
Right. Ghost going to start
Radiant's
focusing on that
middle
T2
tower is
tower.
under attack.
Yeah, Aster.Aries, they have their opportunity if they wish to take it. But I think you are just hell-bent on waiting for the BKB of Ponlo to be up to really give yourself a chance. RNG now going to
Dire's
smoke
top
up and head
tower
towards the
is
north.
under attack.
Shengxi can be spotted very soon on that Marcy. Kaka should have the vision now. Tumbles forward. Avalanche is there. Into the toss, and that'll be a nice, easy pick-off for Somnus. There's no real competition here so far for this game, too. It's Aster.Aries. Again, just gotta keep buying time. That's the game plan.
Yeah, just keep trying to stall. Keep trying to, buy time for this BKB on Ponlo. Buy time for this MKB build-up on Ulu. It just gets so hard. Like it feels like it doesn't even matter what items you have on Ulu. As long as this black hole comes through from Ponlo with BKB, that's where your game changes. And he is inching towards it, so that is some good news for the side of Aster.Aries. Just BKB black hole, nothing to stop it. You really don't unless you build some ranged basher on Ghost, which I don't know if I'd recommend that, Mikey. It sounds fun. I would not recommend that.
I don't think he really needs it anyway. Kaka? Bottom lane. Not going to be able to find anyone. There's a top tier 2 tower now, so no more outer towers available for Aster.Aries. Ponlo hanging around, might actually try and go onto Kaka. Will force a rotation in from Ghost, but it's going to amount to nothing here for RNG, nor will it for Aster.Aries. Basher is now up on Ulu, so a bit more control on the Ursa. Nice little way of kind of catching this Weaver. Doesn't feel like RNG's panicked whatsoever, though. Just waiting for that next Roshan to spawn up. Get yourself that Aegis, get yourself that Shards and whatever else, and move in that way.
Just realized all this time Chalice has been pinging something explosive here.
Yeah.
Oh,
you just noticed?
I haven't seen that. I've never seen that, actually. I've never seen anyone use that in any of my pub games, even up against the techies. That's nice.
Yi might get exploded here, John. Yi not looking good.
Oh.
Somnus, and there you go. Very patient. Oh, he's not dead yet, but he will in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Somnus was just stalking him for quite some time. Sees the opportunity, sees the BKB pop, very, very happy with himself. And that should have been where Child's pinks were coming out. Something explosive here, but not for him.
BKB is now at least up for the Enigma. You kind of mentioned earlier you don't have anything to pierce that BKB, so there's an opening now. You've just got to be able to land the big one. Certainly something they've been looking for quite a while. We'll just see if they can manage to land that big black hole.
That's where things get a bit weird for RNG, because again, late game scaling, you just can't ever count the team with Enigma out. You know, black hole BKB can just turn games on its head. I don't know. They've got to get a really good use out of it, because if they don't, then well, it's gonna be on cooldown. Roshan might be spawning up soon, depending on that timer on once this timer disappears. And again, if you don't manage to get anything done with this for Ponlo, and he does expend it somehow, you are in rough waters. No buyback gold as well for Ponlo if he does fall from a pick off here. And they will smoke out. They want to be the ones aggressive with this.
Got to try. Surprise reveal here for Aster.Aries.
Radiant
Kaka.
are scanning.
Closest target for them to aim for, but they won't see him yet. In fact, never mind. Pings are out. They know Kaka's there. Roshan. Tell us very soon when he's going to respawn, but the jump is in. They found the Tiny. Chalice. Going to give the chat again. Something explosive here in Cuckoo. Rather, Kaka does get exploded. RNG, they're going to jump in. Somnus, that's a great silence out. Onto 3 targets. Ponlo, looking for a black hole. Where is it? It's Hesitation. Hesitation kicking in, but Ghost, he has been caught out. The Weaver, he's not going to die. They don't have the damage. The Frost Shield keeps him safe. He's fine. Somnus with a triple kill on the face, on the Void. And now Ulu will go for a run on the Ursa, but is probably set to die as Ghost.
Radiant's bottom.
We'll just chase him down. Eventually, surely has it. Ulu, though, a nice blink up onto the high ground. He will survive. But there's your black hole, John. It still doesn't work.
No. That slight hesitation there. The BKB pop trying to look for the angle. And they got punished. Like, sure, you managed to catch out that Weaver. You didn't manage to stop the dancing around that Somnus just did in the middle of that team fight. You already got a lot of value from being that disrupted in the front, forcing the earlier BKB use. Tower Fortify is available. Siege Creep will disappear, and EXO is down on Chalice. However, everyone's here. They don't even care that Roshan is coming up in a minute and a half. They just want to go for those objectives, knowing without the black hole, there's no real big threat of a defense. That's your high ground hold, and for the most part here.
It's really beautiful play from X-Nova, right? Like, 70% damage reduction on Frost Shield. He doesn't even need to stop Black Hole. Just choose your target, press Frost Shield, and they can't kill him anyway. It's going to be quite demoralizing for Aster.Aries, I'd say. It's pretty rough. Aster.Aries, they're going to smoke up once again as 4. No Black Hole up this time. Roshan's still down for 50 seconds, so if that's what they're aiming for, it's not going to be available currently. They might run into RNG, however. Chalice, right by the Weaver, is going to get spotted out here by himself. Will still try and fight, but the bash is there. Kaka is in with an avalanche. BKB's pop, however, means Chalice is going to drop as they'll try to aim down X-Nova as well. In the meantime, the Weaver, not being caught either. Yi, he's going to be the one to drop as so will Red Panda. And even this Marcy, X-Nova just controlling him the whole time with the Chain Frost. In goes Ulu again. He does pick up one, but it's a GG call. They don't believe they can come back in this game number 2. And that'll mean Aster.Aries is going to get knocked down to the lower bracket of this TI-11 qualifier for China. And RNG, they will proceed.
Yeah, they play a fantastic game on RNG's end. They execute on a pretty great level this time around. Game 1, maybe a little bit stompier. Game 2, maybe on the same level. Just a little bit longer at 37 minutes in, but they play a great game. I think this is within everyone's expectations. Aster.Aries did have